Welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with another live stream, another predictions. Obviously, we've done championship predictions. I said I will only be predicting tables for the championship and the Premier League, as they are the only leagues I watch, like a lot in England anyway. So, yeah, that's what we will be doing today. I was going to go live in the evening, but I've done my research earlier and I've done it a lot quicker than I thought I would, because obviously I want to have backing and reasoning for where I put the teams, etc., and that sort of thing. So yeah, I've done it before as well, but obviously I'll do it one by one on here and go through why I've put each team where I have. So yeah, I'm going to go through Issa's comment before I start this off. His top six, obviously a Liverpool fan. And just quickly, before we get into that, it's good to have all this stuff in the background again. The Premier League footballs, that beautiful trophy that unfortunately Man City got. And obviously a Liverpool flag down there. I was going to put a Man City flag up, but then everyone would be like, oh, you're repping City, No, it's just they were the champions. So I was going to do that, but I just thought, no, I'll do Liverpool. But there we go. Issa says, my top six is Liverpool top, Man City second, Tottenham third, Chelsea fourth, Arsenal fifth, Man United sixth. That's not a bad shout. That is not a bad shout at all. But yeah, let's get into starting this off. So like I said, I've done them beforehand. But yeah, I'll obviously go through one by one. Might be about the same time as the championship one was, which was an hour. And big up everyone that watched that stream after as well. Big up yourselves for that. That was good. Big up Alex. A lot of people putting in their top sixes. Alex has got Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Arsenal third. Interesting. Spurs fourth. Chelsea, West Ham. Fair enough. Hanno says Chelsea first. No, I'll be honest with you. I've not put them top, which is a bit, obvious, I would say, unless you're, don't know, smoking budge, to be honest. Liverpool, City, United, Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea. You reckon Chelsea will slip that much? Interesting. Chelsea first. Yeah, obviously he's joking around. But yeah, let's get into this. So like I said, I've done them before, but obviously I'll do them one by one as I do them here. Obviously, there's a lot of tiers for this one. I could have changed it, but I just left it how it was. So we'll start off with the bottom, obviously. Bottom of the league. Straight up, I think Fulham. The last year they come up, they are sort of a yo-yo team similar to Norwich, but the difference is with them, don't actually finish rock bottom, whereas Norwich pretty much always do or always have. In fact, not pretty much. I think they do every time. But Fulham, their last season in the Prem, they finished 18th. They've done some decent signings, but again, they've lost some big players like Carvalho, obviously went out to Liverpool. Mitrovic, he doesn't really fire in the Premier League. I'm just not really too convinced. Marco Silva is the manager. I'm not really convinced by him either. Not even saying that because he was a former Watford one. I just don't really see if he's going to, or if he can be that guy to take him out of it. And, they've signed Leno, don't get me wrong, who is a very good goalkeeper. But, they had Areola when they were in the Premier League, who's been at PSG and that, and they didn't stay up then, did they? Like, Leno, he's very good for Fulham. That's a very good signing. I don't think they'll finish bottom by a load of points compared to, like, second bottom, for instance. But I just don't feel they can stay up, in my opinion. I'd say I'm not really too convinced if the manager can keep them up. Yeah, they might sack him, but even then it might be too late, in my opinion. And, people joke around and say them and Norwich might not play each other again, and they're being dead serious. Like, honestly, they might not at this rate. Flipping hell. But yeah, I've gone with them rock bottom. Sorry to the Fulham fans. Prepared to be disappointed, Hanno. Are we able to join? I'll just do this one by myself. I usually tend to do these by myself as they are my opinion, my predictions. But obviously, as I go through each team, You say your thoughts if you want, if you agree, disagree. You know, I know people are going to disagree. It's our opinions at the end of the day. But there we go. Yeah, someone else than me put Fulham in 20th and not 19th. Yeah, Fulham, Leeds and Brentford is Max's 3 that he reckons will go down. So there we go. There we go. I agree for Fulham, says Issa. Yeah, I just, you know, they made some good signings. Like Leno, he is a good keeper for them. But, you know, they had Areola, who's obviously now at West Ham. But, you know, he was playing for PSG. And I know they're, you know, they got quality players. But, like, come on, PSG and Fulham, like, let's not take the piss now. Do you know what I mean? That's basically what I'm trying to say. Alex has gone Leeds, Southampton, Fulham. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've got some controversial ones, which, well, I'm sure they'll be controversial. Obviously, we will get into them. I just want Brentford really, but bonus of Leeds come down. Is it another away day to check off? Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, let's move on to the next team. I've also gone with another team that got promoted, and that is Bournemouth. Now, don't get me wrong, Bournemouth have also done some very good business. I've been very surprised with some of their business. Not even trying to sound disrespectful. Like, the players that Bournemouth can get, obviously, as they've got them. You know, I just, you know, like Fredericks, he didn't really do well at West Ham, but I think that's a very good signing for Bournemouth. They also signed Tavernier from Middlesbrough, who obviously we know how much of a good season he had last season. But again, I just don't feel they've got the players that are going to be able to get them out of what they want to do, which is survive. Solanke, I do think he will get a few goals. I don't think he'll get an overly high amount. You know, he might get 15, maybe a bit lower, you know, 13, something like that. But I'm just not convinced. Scott Parker, I'm not convinced he's the manager either. Similar to Fulham, really. And I just think there's teams up there that are just in a better position, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, I'm not going to ramble on too long about what I think there. It's just like I said, I just think the same as Fulham, really, for them too, unfortunately. I just want Brentford, really, but bonus the Leeds come down as it's another way to... Oh, yeah, I read that, didn't I? What the hell am I going on about? But there we go. And then the last team I've put in the relegation zone are a team that literally survived coming down to the last game of the season. Last minute goal, you know who it is, Leeds. I really think they're going to struggle. I think they're going to be in that battle again. Now, I know they signed Tyler Roberts or whatever his name is, but, you know, I'm not convinced he's that guy that can help them survive. Their manager, you know, he was close to it last season. Bamford is starting to get very injury prone. So I'm not really too convinced if he can be that guy who can get him out of it. Very good player, but he's just very injury prone. They've lost Rafinha, obviously, gone to Barcelona, which, you know, in times, especially if obviously Bamford not there, he was the creative spark. You had to feel sorry for him at times with his performances, like how good he was in that poor Leeds side. Phillips, who obviously I don't rate highly, but obviously for Leeds, he is a very good player. Obviously, he's gone to Man City as well. I just think they're going to be in problems. And like I said, they survived literally by the scruff of their neck last season, literally getting a goal in added time to seal that they'll, you know, stay up. Fair play to them for that. But I just think they're really going to struggle next season. You know, I'm not convinced with that manager. And like I said, they've lost a lot of key players as well. And other than Tyler Roberts, have they really brung anyone in? Like, other that makes you go, okay, not from what I've seen. Like I say, I do research going into this, but the Premier League was a lot easier to do than the Championship. Also helps with the fact people talk about it a lot more in that scenario. So, yeah, that's what I reckon. Hanno's gone same bottom three, he said. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But, yeah, moving on to the teams. So that is my bottom three. So 2 newly promoted sides. And, yeah, one team that were in the battle last year. I think will end up going down this year. Sorry if you can hear that siren, but there we go. Can't really do much about that. But anyway, moving on to the next game, the next team, sorry, which I've gone for. This could be the first controversial one. But I also think a lot of people would agree with it and understand where I'm coming from. When I was doing my predictions, the bottom three was easy enough for me. I'll be honest, the bottom three was easy enough, and then these bits here it got difficult, especially from 8th to 11th, 8th to 17th technically. Time around the police are coming. But yeah, this could be a controversial one, but I think you saw it in glimpses where they were really struggling last season. It was after that loss to Newcastle at home when they had a 13 or 14 game run unbeaten at home. And that team, I know they've got good players, but that team is Southampton. I'm looking at their pre-season. Obviously, you don't want to base everything on pre-season, but they have had a decent pre-season. Narrowly losing to Leipzig. I think they beat another European team. The Leeds fans can come at me. Do you know what I mean? It's my opinion at the end of the day. But yeah, Southampton, they've still got good players like Ward-Prowse and Armstrong and that sort of thing. But I did see some of their fans turning on their manager. Now, I'm very surprised about that because I do rate their manager. It weren't all their fan base, but it was a lot of it. And I think if that carries on going into next season, they're really gonna struggle, and then it's gonna put an effect on the club. Essentially, it's gonna be negative around there, and you don't want that. You don't want that. But honestly, I just think they really struggle. Like I said, you saw it in glimpses going on into last season. After that Newcastle run, they weren't really great. When they played Liverpool at home, they weren't too bad. Obviously, they lost that 2-1. But yeah, there was just games after that where it's just on a poor run. Obviously, last game of the season, got heavily battered to Leicester. It's 4-1 or something like that, whatever it was. So, yeah, I honestly think going into this season, they could be in the battle. I would too, 9 season. Yeah, but come on, what do they expect? Who do they expect to get in? No disrespect, they haven't got that name where they're going to attract other. Let's be real now. So for me, I think it's a bit harsh. When he done stuff like beat Liverpool, for example, he didn't really get a lot of credit from that. Yeah, I know there was no fans and that sort of thing, but even then, it was difficult to break that Liverpool team down. So there you go. But yeah, that's what I've got to say about them. I'm going to go on for too much longer. Blue Terrier says Cristiano Ronaldo still. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, moving on to the next team. Obviously, a team I don't really like. Obviously, Liverpool being the other team I follow. You lot will know why. And that is Everton. Again, Lampard, they were close to it last season. I want to swap them two around. Why is it not letting me? Oh, my God. What is this doing? There we go. But yeah, I've gone Everton in 16th place. They have done some good signings, like McNeil. I think that is a very good signing. He's a young player that I've always rated from Burnley, obviously. They've done Tarkowski as well, who I think will be decent for them. But, like I said, with Lampard, I'm not really too convinced. They've also lost some big players as well. Obviously, Richarlison up for debate if who you think's had more of an impact on Everton last season. Well, maybe not last season because he got injured a lot of times, Calvert-Lewin. But, up for debate who was their, who's the best player out of them two. Even put Gordon into the mix if you're basing it on form last season. But yeah, anyway, they're up there. They were up there. Obviously, I've lost Richarlison, which is going to be a big miss. Calvert-Lewin, I don't rate him too highly. He's a good player in the air. He's also very injury prone. So, if he's fit, then, Everton could be, a lot higher. But yeah, I just think they're really going to struggle. Again, like I said, I'm not really too convinced with Lampard as a manager. You look at last season, again, survived pretty late on. And like I said, they lost Richarlison, massive loss to them. They brought in some good players, but yeah, I'm just not overly convinced by the manager. So I still think they'll be in the battle going into next season. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. Going into the next team, this could be another controversial one, the more I think of it, because of how high much higher they finished last season. And that team is a team from the Midlands, right? And I don't know about them, you know. I did actually watch one of their preseason games. Is DCL injured? I don't know, but he is very injury prone. So, you know, if he starts getting injured a lot next season, that is definitely going to affect him. And for me, I don't even rate him that highly. Yeah, he's good in the air, but yeah, I just don't rate him too highly. But yeah, this team finished 10th last season. Now, Brighton's not in the Midlands. Brighton's in Sussex, which is down south, like proper all the way down. Hence why they got a beach in that there. But yeah, this team I've gone for is Wolves. I just really think they'll struggle next season. You know, I know they've still got Jimenez and that sort of thing, but a lot of people are not really talking about how poor they were in spells last season. I remember when they played Brighton and lost very heavily at home. You know, they just was on a massive losing streak as well. So yeah, I really think they'll struggle next season. I'm looking at their business. They haven't really done a lot of business. They've got Hwang. He's you know, they've got him now, but I'm just not really too convinced. He done well when he first come in, and then he just didn't really start to do things. Jimenez, I just don't think he's been the same since that injury, which is just unfortunate, really. They've still got, you know, Neves and that sort of thing, but believe it or not, think what you want to. But I think Traore is going to be a massive miss. Now, I know he didn't have the finisher instinct, but you know, the stuff he created for them, you know, I think that's really going to affect them going into next season. I know they've still got Neto and that sort of thing, but I think you're going to see games where you know he's going to be missed in that thing. So I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, let me just double check. But he's gone back, hasn't he? I might be completely wrong, but obviously he went out on loan to Barcelona. Did he? He's not coming back, is he? He's not coming back, as far as I'm aware. Let me just double check, people, because I don't want to get this wrong. If it wants to load, I'll tell you. If not, then sound Tyler so tired from work. Yeah, thank God I don't have work for the rest of the week now. But big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to get this wrong, so let me double check. Well, he's come back. He's come. Oh, maybe not then. Maybe not. He is coming back, but is he going to stay? I'm not really too sure. I'm not too convinced with the manager. I'm not too convinced with the manager. He had a good start and people thinking they could potentially get Europe. But like I said, I don't think Jimenez has been the same, unfortunately, since the injury. And I just think they'll really struggle. I really do. They're a bit off the radar for, you know, people not really talking about how poor they were, in my opinion. Like I said, results like losing heavily to Brighton at home and things like that. Obviously, I know Brighton done very well last season. They're their highest finish ever in the top flight. But even then, you know, I know a lot of Wolves fans that are not happy with that 3-0 at home. Like, that's just not good, is it? Not good at all. So, yeah, I just think they really struggle, to be fair. So we have to wait and see. But I think that's one not a lot of people are talking about, in my opinion. I think Fulham have got a better chance this time of staying up. Like I said, they've done some good signings, but I'm just not convinced with the manager. Not even because he's a former Watford one, Marco Silva. I'm just not convinced. Mitrovic never does it in the Premier League. They've lost Carvalho as well. You know, I'm just not really too convinced. I know they're bringing Leno, but again, they had Areola, didn't they, from PSG? You know, PSG and Fulham, like, let's not take the mick there. And, you know, he wasn't able to keep them up. So, yeah, that's why I've put them there. That is why I've put them there. But, yeah, Wolves there, like I said, I think they could finish pretty low this season, 5 places, lower than last season. Hope Leeds go down. Shame they didn't instead of Burnley on the last day of the season. Yep. Even though I don't mind them. 16th Everton, 17th Southampton, 18th. Fair enough, Chris. Fair enough. So we've got Everton in the same place, Southampton same place, Leeds same place, and then obviously Fulham and Bournemouth just the other way around. So there you go, not too bad there, not too bad. But yeah, like I said, Wolves there. And then this team, the next team, they're also from the Midlands. They're a newly promoted team. As soon as I say that, you know who I'm on about. Nottingham Forest. Now, a lot of people think they'll finish higher. Don't get me wrong, they have done some brilliant business. But I do think some people are getting carried away with where they think they're going to finish. Yeah, we'll do that, Harry. We'll do that. We'll do a Premier League thing for the predictions, and that we'll do. But yeah, Nottingham Forest. I think 15th. No, not 15th. 14th. That'd be a very good first season for them back. Some of their fans, would probably move like they should be finishing higher. But at the end of the day, it's their first season back in the Premier League after 23 years. And yeah, they've done some really good business. Obviously, Lingard, he's picked money over ambition, in my opinion. But it'll do well for them, of course. Who else have they got? Obviously, they've got in that former Liverpool striker. I don't really know. I know he done really well out in Germany. I can't say his name. It's the guy that begins with a T. Obviously, they've got the Huddersfield double. I think O'Brien will do well. Toffolo, I think he'll do well, but I don't think he'll do really well compared to others because he's never actually played in the Premier League before. And there was a lot of times for Huddersfield where he was getting caught out defensively because he was so high up the pitch. And in the Premier League, if you do that, especially against a side like Liverpool, for example, Man City, it's curtains essentially. So that one will be interesting. Dean Henderson, it's good to see because I actually like Dean Henderson, scrap the Man United rivalry and all that. I actually like him. I think he's a very good keeper that's very underrated, and it's good to see that he's going to be playing regularly now. So that's good to see. But yeah, I don't think it'll be too high, but I don't think it'll be too low. 14th, majority of their fans will have to be happy with that. But like I said, some Nottingham Forest fans can get a bit carried away and think they should be doing better. So there we go. No, I haven't listened to it, Harry. I've not listened to his interview. Why is my phone not standing? Yep, no worries, Harry. No, it's not a rush as long as it's done before. We'll say Friday before 6 o'clock or something. Why is this not sounding? Yeah, exactly, Chris. And I don't think he will, to be honest with you. 11th for Wolves, in my opinion. Fair enough. Yeah, that's the player I was on about. I reckon Brentford will be above Everton or even below, to be fair. I wish Dean Henderson was solid permanently so Carlisle could get... Yeah, true. Obviously, he was there, wasn't he? But yeah, that's who I've gone with in 5th. I keep saying 15th, 14th. Next team I've gone with are a team that Harry just mentioned, team from London. And people, you lot might be like, Tyler, are you feeling all right? I only found out that this, because when obviously I do research going into this, so I can have a little bit of backing on what I say. Obviously if they're gut feelings, they're gut feelings. But yeah, obviously most of these have got reasoning. I think every team's got reasoning, in fact. But yeah, obviously when I go through it, I'll let you lot know. But yeah, Brentford, I didn't realise they signed Ben Mee. I did not realise they signed Ben Mee. Obviously that's a very good signing for them. Obviously they've got Lewis Potter as well, who, don't get me wrong, he's not Premier League proven, but I think he'll turn out to have a really good season at Brentford, especially with, Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney said some madness, we know that, but he still does well. So yeah, I've got Brentford in 13th place. In 13th place. Yeah, I think they'll comfortably survive again, in my opinion. They've also signed a goalkeeper. I can't remember his name, but he's happy to sit on the bench, he said. He turned down Man United as well, which obviously he'd been on the bench there as well with De Gea. But, I think, signings like that are very good signings. Obviously, he will play in the cup games and that sort of thing. So, yeah, like I said, I think Lewis Potter will have a decent season, especially at Brentford with the players they've got, and Bueno, Ivan Toney. I think he'll link up very good with them. And they've got a good team. Obviously, going into last season, not a lot of people knew how they were going to come in. Obviously, none of their players, or majority of their players anyway, well, it might have been all of them, I can't actually remember, but a lot of them were not Premier League proven, never played in the Prem, or if they did, it was like they were on the bench or that sort of thing. And obviously, we know what happened. They got some good results. They're a very good side at home last season, especially against the top six, for example. Drawing to Liverpool, narrowly losing to Chelsea when they should have got a draw in that, in my opinion. Very unlucky. Beating Arsenal. Man United, they got slapped up both times. I don't know how the hell they did, but there we go. So, yeah, there was a lot of good results at home. A lot of good results at home. Obviously, last game of the season was one of them. But, yeah, I think they'll comfortably survive, in my opinion. And I've gone with them in 13th place. Let's go through some comments. They're Damsgaard as well. Yeah, Harry agrees that they'll finish 14th or 13th. 15th for Brentford. I think they'll be fine again. Joy to watch for me. Yeah, exactly. They're not feared of anyone either, are they? One of my favourite teams to watch in the Championship. Yeah, they were good in that as well, especially our playoff final, flipping out the one where they won. Joy to watch last season as well. Yeah, absolutely. I've only heard Potter be gassed by a hole, so can't comment. Yeah, I've seen bits of him. Obviously, I saw him live when we played him. I don't think he's as, they make out like he's really good. But he will do well at Brentford, in my opinion, because the players he's got around him. Wait, Brentford getting Mikel Damsgaard. What a signing. Yeah, I forgot about that as well. Yeah, exactly. Class signing, got them 13th or 14th. Yep. So that's my prediction where I've put them to 13th. Moving on to the next team, a team that done very well again last season. A lot of people put them in the relegation battle, said they were getting relegated. They got a young, inexperienced team. People were saying the manager is not Premier League proven. And that is Crystal Palace. I've gone with Crystal Palace to finish 12th. Why does that keep doing that? There we go. I think for them it'll be another decent season. Obviously, some players have obviously gone back to Chelsea, like Gallagher, obviously done very well for them. But they still got Zaha, who, he's got an attitude problem, but he's been there for years. He'll do well for them again. They've got Mateta, who I really rate. His standout game was... I know they got Mateta. No, I'm thinking of Elise as well. Elise, his standout game for me when I started looking at him a lot more was Millwall in the FA Cup when he got that double. It's one of them where I think they'll be good again. They'll be good again. They'll be a joy to watch, especially at home. I always big up their atmosphere. I've never been properly, but you can tell on the TV it's exceptional and that sort of thing. And obviously, I'll be doing a watch along to the first Premier League game, which is obviously them versus Arsenal, which should be a cracker, especially with how Arsenal have been in pre-season as well. Jesus, looks firing, and obviously it's at Palace, so the atmosphere is going to be on job. Night game as well. But yeah, I think they'll finish 12th. That's what I reckon with them. Mid-table, I think they should be happy with that. Chris has gone with a 13th. Fair enough. So one place lower than me. Fair enough. Now moving on to 11th to 8th positions. So the team I've gone with in 8th, obviously I mentioned it earlier, they had their highest finish in top flight history last season. I think they'll finish 2 places lower this time, and you lot know who that is. It's Brighton and Hove Albion. I don't think it'll be as good as last season. I think there's teams that have made a lot of good business, which obviously you'll see me put higher. But I still think it'll be a decent season for them. We're still waiting to see what's going to go on with Cucurella. Now, if they do lose him, obviously that'll be a massive miss. He is a player I rate very highly. He's very... could you say underrated? Sorry, now with prices teams are putting or apparently putting for him. Not too sure, but they do have a good solid team that work hard. Obviously, a good manager as well. I don't think he's as good as some people make out, but for Brighton, he's obviously very good. And that sort of thing. But yeah, I just think there's teams that have done better business, and what I'm hearing from other teams as well makes me feel that they'll finish higher. But I think Brighton have got to be happy with 11th if they were to finish there this season. They're still near the top half, and yeah, it's one of them. Like, a lot of the clubs above them, obviously, that I've still got to put in, have got more money than them, and that sort of thing as well. So there you go. That's what I've got to say about that. So yeah, that's that. Moving on to the next team, the team I've put in 10th, so a top half finish. I've gone for a team where the manager said they're going to be, pushing on, trying to get a European place, even if that's Conference League, I think, when they said it. And that is Aston Villa. Obviously, they finished very low last season, very poor season for a club like Aston Villa last season. Surprised how high you put Leicester as not signing anyone and losing Kasper. Yeah, Leicester was a difficult one. A lot of you might be surprised where I end up putting them. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Villa, obviously Gerrard's come out and said, they're going to try and push for a European place, even if that's, the Conference League. I'm sure their fans would take it. Well, it's European football at the end of the day. They haven't been in that for a while. So yeah, they've done some really good signings as well, especially attacking wise. Obviously, I've got Coutinho permanently now, which is brilliant for them. And I just think they'll finish a lot higher. Chris has obviously put them in 9th, so one place higher than me. But yeah, I think they have a much better season than last season. Obviously, this will be Gerrard's full season. So obviously, looking at it, because he is obviously in the shouts to potentially be the next Liverpool manager. Liverpool fans can judge it a bit more this season, as obviously he'll have a full season unless it all goes tits up and then he gets sacked. But I can't see that. But yeah, that's pretty much my reasoning. I've still got some really good players. A lot of people reckon this will be Ollie Watkins' season where he fires a lot more. It's not a bad shout. Obviously I've got Jacob Ramsey coming through, who was brilliant last season. And yeah, they have got a good team. I know Mings has his times where he's a bit suspect. But even then, I think, they've brought in more centre-backs and that sort of thing. Got a good goalkeeper in Martinez as well. Backup goalkeeper, they've got Olsen now as well, which is good experience. So yeah, I think they'll finish a lot higher, and I think they'll get a top half finish. So yeah, Brighton will be 16th. Lost Basuma, might be. Yeah, like I said with Brighton, I forgot about Basuma. That's true. Good shout. Obviously, that's a key loss to their midfield. But yeah, like I said, with it, obviously I'm basing it right now with Cucurella. Obviously, like I said, if they do lose him, then they're in a very sticky situation, in my opinion. Still got a good team, but that is a massive miss. I do rate him very highly. So yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. Now, the next team I've gone with are a team that a lot of people think will shoot up. Obviously, rightly so, with the takeover that happened last season and all of that sort of thing. Obviously, they've got players, in that January window before that done very well, like Bruno Guimaraes and that. Who I'm talking about. And that is Newcastle United. Yeah, I think they'll finish 9th next season. Obviously, I think this is, this will be the first full season since the takeover. And I think Bruno Guimaraes will be proper firing this season. I think he's going to be exceptional. Still got players like Saint Maximum, Callum Wilson, who is quite injury prone, Callum Wilson, I will be honest, but he is a very good player. Brought in Nick Pope, who, obviously from Burnley, he wants to try and at least be part of that. Well, obviously he'll want to try and be number one, but, he'll want to be part of that World Cup squad. I think he'll do really well there. And that's the thing. What I've noticed with Newcastle is for a while now, they've had really good keepers. Like the two keepers they had last season, Dubravna and can't quite remember the other guy's name, but they were did begin with a H, I think it did. But yeah, like they're both first choice goalkeepers. Now they've brought in Nick Pope as well. They're in a very good position when it comes to that. And yeah, they haven't spent as much money as at the moment as you'd think. But like I said, I think players like Guimaraes will do well. Maximum will do well. Even though it was pre-season, they did beat Atlanta, I think it was, which is massive because obviously they're usually a Champions League side. So yeah, I'm going to say they finished ninth. I think they'd be very happy with that for their first season, and then obviously they'll keep progressing, especially with the funds that they've now got to be able to get players. So there you go. 10th for Newcastle. They lack a goal scoring striker, in my opinion. Yeah, like I said, Callum Wilson can be a bit injury prone, but I think they'll start to get goals from a lot of other positions this season. Like I said, Guimaraes, it's going to have a very good season, I reckon. So yeah, that is where I'm putting Newcastle. Now this one is a very controversial one. I've got my reasoning. I think my reasoning's fair enough. Especially seeing this team. I don't want to judge it on the preseason game, but even their preseason games before that, it didn't really look too great. And that is a team that are in Europe again next season. They're in the Conference League this time. And that is West Ham United. I've gone with them to finish 8th. I think they just missed out on the well, hold on, let me double check you. Unless they get qualified. No. So I think they'll miss out on it just. And the reasoning is, I think their main priority is going to be Europe this season. Them being in the Conference League. Obviously, they'll want to try and win that. That would be massive. And, they're not really... They're doing some decent signings like Flynn Dowles. Signed another striker, or they're going to. But I'm just not really too convinced by them. If I'm being honest, when it comes to in the league, like I said, I think they'll be fighting a lot more for Europe. And they've lost some influential players for them. Obviously, Noble, I know he's getting on a bit, but you'll miss that. You'll miss that in the changing room. I think they'll just miss out. There's not really too much else to say. So yeah, that's what I reckon with them. I agree with 8 from West Ham. Like I said, I think the main priority would be Europe, and they just miss out. Big up Lewis. He says, oi, oi. Don says, can't wait to get battered on Saturday. He's not confident for Burnley versus Luton. Sort of see where he's coming from. Obviously, I'm not going to say too much. I'll get more into it on the Hatter Show, but big up yourself. Chris Wood not getting enough. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, fair enough there. Chris, you're everywhere. He is, isn't he? Agree with that. So yeah, all right. A lot of you agree with the West Ham one. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought some of you would, maybe disagree. Sure, if my stepdad saw this, he'd probably be like, "What am I on about?" Well, maybe he wouldn't actually. Maybe he wouldn't. But yeah, I just think the main priority is going to be Europe, and they'll just miss out on getting a European place. But then I think they might win the Conference League depending on who they get and etc. as the later stages go on. If they get out of the group stage. Which I can't judge because obviously I haven't seen it and it hasn't come out, obviously. So yeah, that will be their way of getting into Europe, winning it. So there you go. When's the show? It'll be on Friday, 6 p.m. Got a lot to discuss there. Obviously, we'll be discussing 2 new signings. We'll be discussing the Birmingham game, obviously. So we'll do it. Birmingham game, 2 new signings, and then we've got a Burnley fan on to talk about the game. So yeah. Well, Leicester's still there. Yeah, like I said, Leicester, it was difficult. I'm not going to lie. Big up Oasis says, yo, Leicester should be 13th. Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, it's my opinion. And like I said, it was difficult with Leicester, to be honest with you. But yeah, the team that I reckon will get the Conference League, I'm not too convinced saying it, but it is Leicester that I've gone with. Like I said, I think West Ham will just miss out due to obviously being their main priority will be Europe. City, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United. Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, Leicester, I just think, I know they're losing Schmeichel, who's obviously good for them. Keeper, I don't really rate. I think a lot of people, jump on it too much. But for Leicester, he done very well. He's not a keeper I would say can play in the top six club personally. I think his distribution's pretty poor. Shot stopping's decent, and he's got an attitude problem as well. I think in a lot of teams he'd struggle to get into that. But yeah, Maddison might be going to Newcastle as well. I was thinking that, Newcastle, where I've put him, is pretty high, but I was thinking even higher, but it's not confirmed yet, and it's not for definite, as far as I'm aware anyway. Unless it's close, I'm not sure, but I don't think it is anyway. I think they're just trying to put a new bid in. That was the last thing I saw. And Leicester, I don't know. It is a controversial one. I can understand why people may disagree a lot on this one. I think people can be a bit too harsh on Brendan Rodgers. That's what I will say. Liverpool, for me, it's just too early, But like even Leicester, everyone calls him a bottler, but yet he's won the FA Cup. He's won, I know it's not a massive trophy, but he's won the Community Shield. I think some people need to put a bit of respect on his name for Leicester as well. And that's not me trying to sound disrespectful. FA Cup Leicester, who would have thought that? Even Premier, obviously he didn't win the Premier League with them. That was Ranieri, but still, So, FA Cup is a massive historic trophy in England. Do you know what I mean? And if we're being honest, they deserve to win that final. Obviously, the goal in that game was great by Tielemans. But yeah, it could be controversial. It could change, but obviously I won't change it. But they could lose a lot of players and then it will change, like maybe Maddison, Tielemans, potentially. But then again, surely, I don't know, Premier League's literally in 2 days. Obviously not for them. But, I also think if they were to go, surely they'd have gone now. I know Newcastle putting in new bid, etc. And, but Tielemans, like, how long's that been going on? Like, sure, it's not going to be January. Well, January, it'd have to be a lot of money, obviously. And then, I'm not sure. So, like I said, I think they'll sneak into it. I do. I think West Ham's main priority will be Europe, and that's what will make Leicester finish above them personally. Chris says, I've gone Leicester 7th as well. They've got best defenders coming back this season who were injured last season. Yeah, exactly. And they have got a good team. Yeah, like you say, especially defensively for Fofana, James Justin. I'm not just saying that. Luton bias, like, even there. Obviously, he got into the England team. That's how good he was doing. Even though, then again, it is Southgate picking. But let's be real. It's a matter of time before he was going to get put in there. So, yeah, I definitely agree on that. They got nothing to attack. Yeah, like Vardy could be that guy who could literally carry them to a conference. To a Conference League spot. I do potentially think that, to be fair. Even Daka, like they've got Daka as well, still haven't they? As far as I'm aware. So who were injured last season, or nothing to attack. You can see not good enough when you don't make signings yet. I like Rodgers as well, and he's got Leicester back to back. Yeah, exactly, for Leicester. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, let's be honest now. That's brilliant. Fofana is a Chelsea player. Is he though? Or Chelsea going to bottle that again? Tielemans' contract is up in the summer, so people from Europe can get him on a pre-contract deal for next to nothing. I think that's what clubs will be waiting for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good shout. Predict that Palace will win the Premier League. Well, all I will say is never say never. Who would have said that except that one geezer that said it when Leicester won it? It's easy to blame Rodgers for not signing anyone. Let's blame recruitment as well, not just him. Yeah, exactly. 20th, Lewis has gone Fulham, same as me. 19th, Bournemouth. Big up everyone inside, by the way. Please do smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. 19th Bournemouth, same as me. 18th Leeds, so reckons the same bottom three as me. 17th Everton. 16th Brentford, interesting. 15th Forest, fair enough. 14th Southampton. 13th, fair play for doing all this, by the way. 13th Leicester. 12th Brighton. 11th Palace. 10th Wolves. 9th Villa. 8th West Ham. 7th Newcastle. 6th Arsenal. Obviously, I'll get into my 6th in a minute. 5th Man U. Flipping hell, Lewis. He's done all of it. Fair play. 5th Man U. 4th Chelsea. 3rd Spurs. 2nd Liverpool. 1st City. Fair enough. Flipping out, the comments going mad. Big up yourselves. I feel like Fulham and Brentford are little contenders as well. I don't know if you're taking a piss, but then again, like I said, never say never. You know, for me personally, obviously, not, but never say never. I currently think Leicester owner is not ambitious. His father was as well. Yeah, I'd agree on that. Might sit City around with Liverpool. Yeah, it's tough, the top two. Man City, Man United and Chelsea relegated. Nah, you're definitely taking the piss now. To be fair, reckon Fulham could stay up there, building a good team. Reckon they'll just go down 18th. So you reckon they'll finish where they finished last time they're in the Prem. The reasoning why I put them rock bottom is I'm not convinced with the manager. I'm not saying that because he's a former Watford one. I'm just not convinced. Mitrovic doesn't really pull the strings. Like Chris said earlier, if they're going to stay up, it's going to mainly be Mitrovic banging goals. Totally agree on that. Yeah, they've got Leno, who's a very good keeper. But then again, remember when they had Areola and they still went down. So that's what I'll say. But, fair enough. Arsenal 4th, fair enough. I would like Rodgers to replace Southgate as England manager. Would be my number one choice for me. Fair enough. Yeah, just anyone but Southgate. Obviously, I know Southgate's not going to get sacked now going into the World Cup. Got to give him it. It's too late if you're going to do that now, in my opinion. So yeah, there you go. I'm taking a piss off, but I don't watch too much EPL and I also don't know who's good and who's not that well. Fair enough. Leno, Pierre, and Mitrovic. He finally will have some good servicemen. Wilson, they just need better defence. Areola was the reason they finished 18th last time, so he made so many saves. Yeah, like I said though, it still went down with him. Obviously, he did do very well. I remember his time there. But, you can't just rely on him. And that's what I'm trying to say. Leno is good for them. His distribution can be a bit shaky, but he is very good. Very underrated shot stopper, in my opinion. A lot of Arsenal fans would tell you that as well. But anyway, moving on to the top 6. I think Bournemouth will be rock bottom, in my opinion. Fair enough. I just think Fredericks is a very good signing for them. I still think they'll go down, obviously, because I put them 19th. Even Tavernier, you know how good he was at Middlesbrough. So, yeah, that's what I'll say about that. And I think Solanke will get more goals than Mitrovic, personally. But there we go. Top 6, obviously the bit where everyone's interested in. I have put the tradition, well, I don't know why I'm going like that because it's true. Traditional as, well, you might want to not put Man City in it, but what everyone says is the top 6 sides. And if you're basing it on fans, even though Man City, there you go. It's there, and I've got all of them in there. Obviously, as you can see. So yeah, let's start off with it. So the first team I have put in 6th place out of these teams is a team that I want to rebuild. Still a bit of madness going on at the club. I still think it's going to take a good 5 years, personally, maybe even longer, to sort this out. And that is Man United. I think this Ronaldo saga could go one or two ways. And I think it's going to go a negative way. It's just everything I'm seeing about them at the moment is just to do with him. And, no one's bigger than the club. Do you know what I mean? And, it's just causing havoc. The media are a bit like jumpy on it as well. Don't get me wrong. But I just think it's going to take a while with Man United. I do. I think it's going to take 5 years. Honestly, I do. And I've done some good signings, like Eriksen, obviously very good signing for Manchester United. But then again, does that mean they're going to play different? Because I can't see him dropping Fernandes. It's it's a weird one. Obviously, I got Martinez as well. I think that's his name, the defender. You know, he's better than Maguire. Anyone's better than Maguire, you know, if we're being honest. So they have done some good business. But then again, I think this Ronaldo saga could affect them going into next season. Harry says if they finish sixth, the fans will be annoyed. I think some of them will expect it, to be quite honest with you. The ones that are not deluded and still think they're winning trophies every year. They won a pre-season cup. Yeah, forgot about that. But you know, proper trophies. But there we go. I just think, you know, just finish sixth. Like I said, you know, I think it's going to take a while. Done some good signings. I will give them that. Like I said, but yeah, I also think the teams ahead are in a way better position. To be honest with you. But then again, if someone is going to help him pull through, it will be the manager. He is your jigsaw to the puzzle. So we'll see. But I've put him in sixth. So getting the Europa League. So yeah, I'll go through some more comments. Man United. I didn't read that one, did I? By you, Harry. Sort of surprised Leno has gone to Fulham. It'll be interesting though, length of his contract. And he signed with Fulham as well. Yeah, obviously there was talks for ages with him going to Fulham. But yeah, I'll see what you mean. It's one that you wouldn't really expect. Manchester United and Arsenal. Wait, just quickly before I go back to that Leno thing. I know he'd definitely leave because obviously I brought in that Turner or whatever his name is. And obviously Ramsdale's the number one. Man United and Arsenal should forget about challenging for top four. They'll be fighting each other fifth and sixth and should get their coat. Man United fifth, Arsenal sixth. Fair enough. Ten Hag today has confirmed he stormed out the ground at half time. Who's that about? Ronaldo. Jesus at Arsenal last season would have destroyed that Man United defence. Exactly. But yeah, let's go into the team. I've put fifth. Jesus looks looking unreal at the moment. Literally, it easily destroyed Man United defence. Exactly. You lot are saying that's facts. Jesus will be up there for top goal scorer if he can keep it up. Now, I said this, yeah, controversial, my opinion. I'm not saying that he's a better player before you lot think I'm saying that. I'm saying he's just got that more experience and it'll be a lot easier in a way because the other team have a lot more players. I said it, right? If Haaland comes to the Premier League, I remember saying it at the end of the season, this before he went to City, and Jesus goes to another club, Jesus will get more goals than Haaland next season. Now, Haaland will still get a lot. I don't think he'll be up there for Golden Boot. I don't think Jesus will be up there for Golden Boot, personally. Maybe not far from it, but I don't think he'll be there. I think that'll be Salah, Son, Kane, you know, the usual, really. But yeah, I just think he will. You could say it could be easier for Haaland because he's, you know, with them really good City players. But then again, Jesus is the vocal point. Obviously, I know Haaland sort of is, but, you know, Man City have other goal scorers. Don't get Arsenal do, but not as many. Do you know what I mean? They brung him in. They brung Jesus in to score goals. Obviously, Man City have done the same with Haaland, but also to create stuff. So there you go. Obviously, Jesus creator as well, but not as much as Haaland could be for City as well as goal scoring. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I reckon. Ronaldo, exactly. Ten Hag said he stormed out without permission. It's going to affect him, man. Palace finishing mid-table, in my opinion. Arsenal slowly returning to glory days with their young team. Potentially. Big up yourself as well, Taylor. I'm confused why people saying Arsenal won the transfer window. To be honest, still need defensive midfielder and midfielder alongside him. Absolutely. For me, Arsenal's signings of Zinchenko and Jesus get sent fourth. Maybe just need one more big player, though. That's why Arsenal didn't get fourth, relying on young team. Exactly. And a team I've gone for in fifth, I'm not going to lie to you lot, is Arsenal. I was potentially thinking putting them in fourth. Now, I don't mind Arsenal. Some of their fans are deluded. But then again, you've got to have every fan base, even flipping Luton, for God's sake. You know, what some of the people say is beyond me with that club. But there we go. But yeah, Arsenal, I think they'll just miss out. I think the pressure will get on a little bit. I do think some of their fans are getting carried away. Not all of them, but I do think a lot of them are. Yeah, they've got some very, nice wins. Obviously, that's 6-0 against Sevilla. I believe they're 4-0 up in 18 minutes, which is crazy. Jesus is looking very good. Zinchenko looked good as well. Zinchenko will do very well for them. At the end of the day, Jesus and Zinchenko, they're winners. Do you know what I mean? So that's going to help that Arsenal team because they don't have a lot of players mentally like that are winners. They've got, obviously the youngsters are, but, a lot of them are not, like Xhaka, and like, in my opinion, they're not. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of clowns at that club still, I'm not going to lie, but there we go. But yeah, I think they'll just miss out. I think it will be very close from them and fourth, but yeah, I just think they'll miss out. But I do think they'll get obviously the Europa League again, and it'll be interesting to see how they do this year. I think obviously I haven't actually seen everybody that's in it because I haven't looked at it like that, but they do have a good chance to win it in my opinion, especially if bringing in the likes of Jesus and that, and then they could get their Champions League football from that. And you know how Arsenal in recent years have tended to bottle it when a lot of pressure's been on them. So I'm going to say fifth. I'm going to say they just miss out on top four. I remember last year saying they'd get top four as well. I looked like an idiot at the end, so I'm also not risking it in that scenario as well. I said they'd finish above Tottenham, and then they lost to Tottenham, and it went downhill, didn't it? So there we go. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Exactly. For me, also, I read that. I reckon Jesus will get 15 league goals. What about you, Tyler? Maybe just a bit more personally. Maybe like 20, maybe. 15's not a bad shout, but I think it'll get a bit more. Arsenal's young team has to bring a veteran to bring it all together, just as that experience. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it's good that Jesus and Zinchenko come in because they got the winning mentality, obviously, at Man City. So there you go. Massive season for Arteta. I think he needs top four this season. Yeah, potentially. Or yeah, like you say there, they might prioritize. I think they will. To be fair. And that's also what might affect them in the league. Arteta needs Champions League football, wherever it's top four or winning Europa League with money they spent, no excuses. Yeah, that's true. To be fair, that's true. A lot of fans, Arsenal fans, saying that as well. Otherwise, potentially sacked and that sort of thing for him. But yeah, now moving on to the top four. What have I gone with for the top four? So, what the hell's going on here? There we go. So, in fourth place, I have gone with one of the two teams from London. This team, they've bottled a lot of transfers in this season. Well, this summer, sorry. Koundé. Nope. Rafinha. Nope. Have they got a proper striker? Nope. Will I think that will affect them? Yep. And that is Chelsea. You not know who that is. That is Chelsea. I've gone with in fourth place. I just think, like I said, I know the transfer window is obviously still open. They have made some good signings like Koulibaly. I think he will do well for them. Alongside Thiago Silva. But they're still missing that spark up front. They're still missing that spark. Obviously, we know how badly Lukaku flopped there. I just think I'm looking at right, straight up, Liverpool and City are miles ahead of everyone. We all know that. And Tottenham, I'll just move straight over to them for my reasoning why I've put them in third. Now, they could finish lower. They could maybe finish fourth. But I think with Conte coming in, he's a manager, that's more of a short term. I look at the signings they've done, and they're very good signings. Now, I did see a video of them training, and they did look very fatigued, and look, they're all on the laying down and that sort of thing. But Conte, in that situation, it could go two ways. It could be they're working too hard, and it could affect them. Or it could be that they're working hard and it makes them better and stronger as players. And I think Tottenham need that, what Conte's been doing. with the extreme training. I think they need that, especially a club like Tottenham haven't won anything for years. But like I said, let's go back to the signing. Perisic, great signing for them. Basuma, great signing for them. Brilliant player in the midfield. Have kept Kulusevski, have kept Bentancur, still got Kane, still got Son. What other signings have they done? I can't think of other signings they've done from the top of my head, but yeah, they've done some great signings. Signings, let's be honest, even though Tottenham are a fairly big club, you wouldn't expect them to do some of these signings. Like let's a lot of them were just out of nowhere, like an RKO as well. Let me just double check some of the signings they're doing. Like Conte as well, like I said, short-term manager. He'll want to get bosh, like he just want to get onto it. His first full season, if I'm correct, his first full season. I'm pretty sure it is. I think Tottenham. I just think they'll finish third. I think they'll be really good next season, especially that attack. Richarlison they've signed, who I don't really, he's a good player, but that's the only signing. Me personally, looking at it as a neutral, I'm a bit like, what? Only because he's got an attitude problem, and I think that might affect him in a way. Will Conte be able to deal with that? I'm not too sure. Potentially, but we'll see. Jed Spence, who obviously, a lot of people, a lot of Tottenham fans that don't even watch the Championship, just jump on the bandwagon. He is a good player, of course he is. But people will be able to deal with him. That's all I will say. But either way, still a good signing. Longley, I think I said his name right. The one from Barcelona, centre-back. Basuma, like I said, Richarlison, Perisic, Fraser Foster is your backup goalkeeper. You know how good he done for Southampton last season. Brian Gill's come back. He's another option. Ndombele, but he'll probably go. They've done some good signings. They've done some really good signings. People saying Spence ain't Prem quality. I agree. Maybe that's the second signing where I'm a bit like, but I understand it. Richarlison, like I said, quality player. You need more options with there being 5 subs. I'm just not sure about his attitude, and that might affect Tottenham. That's all I will say. But either way, I still think they get third. Conte is a short-term manager most of the time. Wants a short-term project, and I think it'll work out. I think it'll work out where they get top 3. Like I said, Liverpool and City are miles ahead of everyone still, in my opinion. They might, I'm not saying they will, might even grab themselves a League Cup. We'll see. But yeah, I've got hopes. Well, not hopes, and maybe for my predictions, I don't really care otherwise. Tottenham will get third. So yeah, let's go through some comments. 4th for Chelsea, in my opinion. Sterling and Koulibaly are good signings, but still no goal scorer up front. Tottenham, Liverpool, City all have that. Exactly. And obviously Sterling as well, but I forgot to mention that. Obviously, that's a good signing. He'll get them goals, but there's more. They need a striker. Do you know what I mean? Who's gonna also come in and get some goals? Man City and Liverpool are in a post. Yeah, exactly. 3rd for Tottenham, and I think they'll win League Cup. Yeah, like I said, they might even win themselves League Cup. I promise I did not read the comments. You lot are literally saying everything I say, but obviously way before me. But obviously I don't look at the comments till go on to the next bit. I think pre-season should be the most high pace and intensity to get players up to speed. Yeah, no way Richarlison worth 60 million. So that's good business from Everton, but they haven't spent it. Yep, true. Richarlison level was Everton. Yeah, like I said, that's the only one where I'm a bit questionable because his attitude. He is a good player, but it's just his attitude. I'm not sure if that's going to affect him. But even then, he shouldn't, in my opinion, if I was a Tottenham fan, he would not be a starter. My starters would be, well, there's a lot of options. Obviously, Kane and Son, you've got to start them. You could put Perisic with them. Depends how you play as well. Kulusevski, he would be more of a impact player, in my opinion. But yeah, there we go. Now, the top 2, which everybody mostly came here to see, let's be honest. Liverpool or City? Are City going to win the league 3 times in a row? Or I don't think no one's done that for a while, by the way. I think the last team to do that was Man United. Or will Liverpool win their 2nd ever Premier League Premier League since it's been called it title. I have to be honest with you lot. I think Liverpool gets second. You know, I know Liverpool got that very good win in the Community Shield against Man City. But usually what tends to happen as well is one will win that and the other will win the league. I think Liverpool are one player away from winning the title, and that is Jude Bellingham, personally. Now, I know Liverpool have been interested in that sort of thing. It's actually come out and all that. I can't see him coming this summer, even with all the rumours. I feel it's too late for starters. And two, I believe he come out and said he don't want to essentially be peaked to Dortmund and leave, because obviously they lost out on Haaland. That would be two, well, they're two best players that have gone, in my opinion. Yeah, I just think that Liverpool are lacking that midfield, which can compete with Man City for a league, personally. Thiago, very good player, but very injury prone. You know, he has, well, I wouldn't say injury prone, but he hasn't gone a full season without being injured, if you actually look at his career. You know, Carvalho and Elliott, you know, they're going to break through and have a very good season. Henderson's getting on a bit. Fabinho, you know, is good, but I just feel they're lacking another creative midfielder. You know, like a Jude Bellingham. If they had to get a Jude Bellingham, I'd say it's different. But I'm basing it on others right now. You know, City won the league without a striker. Now they've brought in Haaland. Let me just put City at the top, because you know who I've said now. You know, Liverpool don't ever doubt them. Obviously, Klopp turned them, you know, doubters to believers. But I just think Liverpool might win the Champions League, not the league. But obviously, it depends who they get. If come across Real Madrid, then you know, pretty much lost. But yeah, you know, it's that's just what I think. That's just what I think. Like I said, they didn't win the league without a striker. They brought in a striker, got rid of their good players, like good players of theirs. You know, and they've replaced them. They've replaced them. Obviously, they've got another striker, haven't they? Man City, as well as Haaland. Left back, it hasn't. Well, obviously, they're looking at Cucurella. Obviously, Chelsea are trying to hijack that. But even if they don't get him, they're still in a sound position. They've got Cancelo, who can play on the left and the right. They've got Walker on the right. You know, I just think City will win it, unfortunately. I think they'll make it 3 times. But like I said, dude, do not sleep on Liverpool. I just think, personally, Liverpool are one player away, and that specific player is Jude Bellingham from winning the league title. It'll be tight again. It'll be tight, probably. It'll be like 1 point again. I don't want it to be 1 point. I'll be honest, as mad as this might sound, I'd rather it be like 3 points or something, because 1 point, the amount of times we've seen that, you know, it's just frustrating. But yeah, that is what I reckon. Sorry to all the Liverpool fans, and Man City fans are loving it. But obviously, my table is not what it's actually going to be, but that's just what I think. You watching All or Nothing tomorrow? Yeah, what time does it come out? Does it say a time specifically it comes out? Let me know. But yeah, I will watch it 100%. I don't know if I'll watch it exactly tomorrow. But yeah, I will watch it. You know, definitely. Koulibaly's ideal replacement for Rudiger, both monsters and beasts. Yep, agree with that. City winners, yeah, sort of thing. I think Liverpool win the league and Manchester City win Champions League. So we think different. I still think City will bottle the Champions League. You know, it really depends for me who comes across Real Madrid next season. I think Haaland signing with Champions League. Yeah, fair enough. I hear what you're saying. But yeah, I just, they won the league without a striker. I still think they have that Champions League curse, or whatever you want to call it, personally. Tyler, I won't mind you winning the league next year and we will win the Champions League. I think you meant, but that'd be good to see salty United fans. That would be funny. Like I say, I think we'll win Champions League, potentially, if we don't get Real Madrid, and you'll win the league. I think tonight at 12, not sure though. Then an ep until 18. Yeah, all right, I'll keep an eye on it then. Actually, do you know what? Do you know what? We'll do it live on the stream. See when it comes out. If it tells me all or nothing Arsenal documentary come out. There we go. Not right. A UK release date. Let's have a look. When it loads, that would be nice. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, accept. I knew it's going to come up. Accept cookies. So it comes out. Just saw it in from Thursday, 4th of August. Oh yeah, it's tomorrow. I don't say specifically. Well, you know, I'll obviously have a look and then I'll watch it, of course, because I'm actually intrigued. See how it went, especially the first 3 games of the season when they had, you know, they were in the relegation zone. It was, I know it's early, but you know they were really poor then, so it'd be interesting to see what happened then. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the Tottenham one. I did feel that was a bit more. It felt like it was a bit more about Mourinho in a way, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But there we go. That is my Premier League predictions. So let's run through the teams quickly. So the bottom 3, I've gone Leeds. I'll start from bottom. Fulham 20th, Bournemouth 19th, Leeds 18th, Southampton 17th. Could be a controversial one. But like I said, I've said my reasoning. Didn't quite see it. Go back towards it. Everton 16th. And then from 15th to 12th, I've got Wolves in 15th, Forest 14th, 13th Brentford, 12th Palace, and then top half, other than Brighton, I've gone Brighton 11th, Villa 10th, Newcastle 9th, West Ham 8th, and then from 7th to 5th, so be getting the first load of European places, I've gone Leicester, Manchester United and Arsenal. Top 4, I've gone Chelsea, Tottenham, and then Liverpool 2nd, and the Premier League champions, Manchester City. So there you go, people. There you go. There are my predictions for the Premier League this season. So yeah, that is all of that done. Let's go through some comments. I've seen some of the clips that Amazon have posted. It looks good, like Arteta training method deal with Liverpool was interesting. Yeah, I saw that he played. I saw this thing on this Liverpool thing I'm following. Apparently, they played "You'll Never Walk Alone" just so they can get used to what the atmosphere is going to be like, or something like that, which is pretty interesting. Tottenham one was interesting because of lockdown. We saw how clubs would run. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Don't want to play Real Madrid in the final. Simple as that. Their mentality. I don't want to play them anywhere. Like even when it was non-COVID season when it was COVID season. Sorry, what non-COVID? What am I about? And that 0-0 in the second leg, and we got pumped in the first leg. You know, I don't want to come across them anywhere, to be honest. Group stage at most, because you know us and them are going to go through, most likely, depending on who else was there. But there you go. Still think Everton will struggle. Yep, so do I. Like I said, I've put them where I have. But I will be going on Hanno's channel to literally do the same thing at 3:30. So if you do want to tune into that, then please do. Obviously, help him out as well. But big up everyone that's tuned in. Big up everyone that's liked. Big up everyone that's subscribed. I don't know if we got any new subscribers from this. I'll have a quick look. So we got up to 9 likes. Just try and get to 10 before the stream ends. Obviously, I know a lot of people will look back at this as well. So big up everyone that did. Another new subscriber. So big up yourself, whoever that was. We're getting even closer to the next target. And as for content coming up, tomorrow I will be doing my game week 1 predictions for the Premier League. On Friday, I will be doing a Hatter show 6 p.m. With my dad and a Burnley fan. And there you go. Literally answered it there for you, Stephen. Or Stefan. Is it Stefan? I think it's Stefan, isn't it? So yeah, had a show then. And then I'll be doing a watch along to Crystal Palace Arsenal, first game of the Premier League season. And then on Saturday, vlog might potentially come out on Saturday to Burnley away, depending on if I don't have the issues that I had last time, because that was an absolute joke. Hence why it come out so late. Big up everyone that's watched that though. And then on Sunday, I will be doing a watch along to West Ham Man City. And then from there on in, as of now, I'm not sure. So back on YouTube every day, up until Sunday for sure. Obviously, I've had a little 2-day break. Obviously, I've been working as well, but no more work now for the week for me. My only work is, you could say YouTube because I get paid, but yeah, you could say then. No, Stephen. Okay, Stephen. All right, cool. But big up yourself anyway. Big up everyone that tuned in. Big up everyone that liked. Big up everyone that subscribed. And we got to 10 likes, so big up yourselves. And like I said, I know a lot of people will look back at this, but like I said, I'm going on Hanno's channel literally in 12 minutes now. I accidentally just spat then. I did not mean to do that. Big up yourselves. And until tomorrow on my channel, not sure what time I'll do the predictions yet, but I'll schedule them, let you lot know on the socials. Like I said, I was going to do this later on, but doing my research and that is a lot easier to do with the Premier League as well, especially if, you know, the amount of people that talk about it a lot more than the Championship, for example. And I want to try and have reasoning for where I put every team, which I did today on this one. So there you go. But yeah, big up yourselves. Until tomorrow, unless I see you lot on Hanno's channel, I will see you lot in a bit. So take care all. Peace.